Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss the 1968 version of Planet of the Apes, starring Charlton Heston, Roddy McDowall, Kim Hunter, and Maurice Evans, and directed by Franklin J. Schaffner. Now here I am discussing my second favorite series, the first being Star Wars, and the reason for that being said is because I've always been into science fiction. And I'll explain more when I get into Star Wars and any other things and maybe other shows in this series. And I'm prepping up with excitement, because I'm really excited for this one, for the new movie, War for the Planet of the Apes. But for now, let's talk about this original movie from the late 60s. I have to start off with the question, why does Charlton Heston smoke on the ship? It's so dangerous. How are you going to breathe when someone is smoking? When the person smokes on the ship, nobody can breathe, idiot! Here's what I hear about Charlton Heston, at least. He's going to do whatever he wants, or else on set, or else he's going to bring his gun. The opening credits score is actually really creepy to hear with the way it sounds. Well, it was the late 1960s. A female astronaut named Stewart's off-screen death. The score was really screechy. Ew, I hate that noise. Excuse me. George Taylor, being played by Heston, says something about Stewart's death, like it was a year ago when she died, for something like that. I personally thought Heston was both careless and nuts, especially when he laughs later in that scene, because he can play nuts very well in any movie, at least. I can't help but getting distracted by Heston's teeth grinning while saying his dialogue, for example. I'm really surprised that this is a G-rated movie, especially with the nudity in the river, Heston cursing quite a bit, and the violence we see in the movie is rough for a G-rated movie, but again, it was the 60s, and there's no such thing as a PG-13 rating, not until the 80s when Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom came out. I'm very impressed with John Chambers' makeup job of the apes. When they act, especially the way how they act human, and are as smart as humans in the 20th century. And John Chambers is the same guy who helped the CIA pull some Americans out of Iran. If you ever seen the movie Argo, that's the guy that John Goodman plays in that movie. The name Dr. Zaius reminded me of an episode of The Simpsons where they made a musical of Planet of the Apes, and there's a song that goes, Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius! The scene was where Cornelius and Zira were, they were kissing, smooching up a storm. Well, not smooching, but they were kissing at first, and then they got there at the end. Was like they were bumping their masks into each other, which actually was amusing. I'm not gonna lie, it really was pretty amusing. When Taylor escapes from the ape-caged zoo, as I put it out there as, and one of the apes was a gorilla that died, and Taylor sees Dodge, one of the crew members of Taylor's, is actually waxed in a museum. Oh boy, that was very scary stuff. That line, "Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape," is one of the three famous lines in this movie. The other one is, "It's a madhouse! A madhouse!" are two of the three classic lines in this movie, and I'm actually honored to be doing this series just so that I can quote a famous line in this movie. The last one I'll explain at the end of the review before I rate my rating. This movie has incredible settings for the late 1960s. Roddy McDowall is an icon in this original trilogy. He's going to be in all 5 of the original movies. The brand on the other guy who was an astronaut with Taylor earlier in the film, I forget his name in the movie. Anyways, his head was branded by getting his skull open off screen, by the way. And like I said before, it's very scary stuff for a G-rated film. When Dr. Zaius talks to Taylor after the courtroom scene, I couldn't help but notice that some green screen, the color was blue, by the way, that's how I figured it out. In the background, I couldn't help but see the green screen on the window. When Taylor grabs Nova for an escape by Dr. Zero's nephew, I thought to myself, don't bring Nova, she'll slow you down. When they're at the beach, and Cornelius and Zira finds Taylor shaving his beard off, and they don't know what a beard is, was actually a very funny moment in the film. Dr. Zaius appearing at the beach was a good way for Dr. Zaius to go down what the shootout is done after the cave scene. The quote, and this is the last line that I'm about to quote, that's pretty famous. "Damn you! I damn you all to hell!" is the third famous line in the movie. And it's the final line with the twist that Taylor was on Earth the whole time, and the Statue of Liberty is down on the ground. Is a brilliant ending, and a good way to make a twist ending. Even M. Night could have done that. Now, time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 9.2 out of 10. Like I said, this is my second favorite series. The first one being Star Wars. This is a very good classic movie. I highly recommend it. See it if you could. I'll be back next week to go Beneath the Planet of the Apes. And until next time, I'd like to kiss you goodbye. But you're just so damn ugly. Not you people, but I'm quoting the movie. Bye-bye.